welcome to the last video of this series, at least as far as I can tell. So this is our basic introductory series to FreeCAD for engineers and engineering students. And so far we've done quite a number of things, but I want to end with this practice exercise. It's not really like learning anything new per se in this video, just that I'll be applying some of the principles that we learned in the previous videos to design this part and to present it in orthographic views. So let's get right to it. Thank you once again for joining. Please hit the subscribe button right now and hit the like button as well. If you followed all through this series, you can also drop a comment for me just to let me know what your thought has been and how we can make this series better in the future. So let's start by drawing this part, and like I did in the previous video, I'm just going to basically try to sketch it out without like really thinking about the dimensions. I'm just going to think about the proportions, right? So let's sketch it out. So I create a sketch, and after creating a sketch, I click on the XY plane, and I am going to firstly try to sketch this lower arc, then this upper arc, then the sides, and this is 90 millimeters radius. We're not given this, but I'm going to assume that it is symmetric, so this and this will be equal, and you will see how I will do that. So I'm going to take this as my origin for sketching, just so you know what I'm doing. So we go to the sketch tool and the arc. So you notice that I'm not starting my arc from like the horizontal line, and I will explain why very soon. So I'm going to start from here and end somewhere around here. And yes, just zoom out, and I'm going to create another still on that same axis, and I'm going to do something like this and this. Then we are going to use a 3-point arc to join this together, like the two circles basically together. Escape. So let's pick the 3-point arc. So from here to here, and that goes down a little bit, and then from here to here, and this also goes down a little bit. And yes, the next thing I will do is to make them tangent to each other. So it's very obvious from the drawing that this arc is tangent to this arc and is tangent to the next arc, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to make this tangent to this by clicking on both and then using the tangent tool, and then click on this and click on this. I'm hitting the control button to select more than one thing. So then click on this, control, click on this and make it tangent, click on this, control, click on this, make it tangent, and that gives me smooth proportions all through. Now that I have it tangent to each other, the next thing I want to do is, because I know that these two are symmetrical and they are basically equal, I'm going to use the equal constraint on them. So click on this and click on this, select both of them, and I'm going to make it equal. Now the next thing is that I'm going to try to add the dimension. So I'm going to start with this 115, right? So we have dimension, that's D, and then I'm going to click on this 115. So we have that beautifully done, and then I'm going to try to put in the radius dimension. So let me start with this 90, then I go to this 40, and then I come to this 25 on top. So the dimension tool is still active, and then I'm starting with this 90. Remember, I don't have to dimension this and this because I already set an equal constraint on both of them. So I dimension this to be 40 and I dimension this to be 25, and I believe that that is what it is. Yes, 25, 90 and 40. And now my sketch is fully constrained, so I'm going to close, and after closing I'm then going to extrude. Hopefully the wire is closed. Okay, that's great, the wire is closed. So the extrusion will go by 25 millimeters, so that's 25, and I'll press OK. Then the next thing I would do is that I can clearly see that this is a hole that goes through. So this circle represents a hole, and this other circle here represents an extrusion that comes out. So which should I do first? Let's do the hole first. So I'm going to click on this face and I'm going to click on create sketch. Now, because my arc is really like, it takes its origin or its center from the origin, so I don't need to like project this geometry, but usually this is what I would do. I would just project the geometry or create external geometry, and that will give me the points. So it gives me the center point as well. Then I will draw the circle, and I think that is 40 millimeters. Let's confirm. So that is, yes, 40 millimeters. And yes, so I'll close the sketch, then do a pocket operation through all, and that is basically a hole. And I want to do something similar up here, but I'm making an extrusion instead. So I'm going to select this face again, create sketch, and then this time the need to project the geometry is really obvious because I can't find the center point to use here. So I'm going to do create external geometry, and I have my center point here that I can now use to create a circle. So this circle, the funny thing about this circle is that this circle and this circle are the same diameter. So usually what I like to do in this kind of situation is that I like to make them dependent on each other. By the way, you can just come and dimension your circle and give it a dimension, but this is how I would go about it. So I'm going to project this circle here as an external geometry. Then I'm going to click on this and click on this other one as well, and I'm going to make them equal to each other, and I will show you why in a minute. So but firstly, let's extrude, and so I'm going to do the pad operation, and that is for 20 millimeters, and that is our object. Very beautiful object. The reason I made the diameter of this circle to be dependent on the diameter of this circle is because of something that usually comes up. So for instance, you may submit this design, and in your factory or on the shop floor you may be asked, like, okay, we need a completely different design, but we want to change the diameter of the hole and the diameter of this circle to both 20 millimeters. Now it's easy to come and change them both one by one, but what if you had like 5-6 different holes that were the same and you want to change all of them? Changing them one by one is obviously not sane, so the best thing is to make them dependent on each other. So let me show you what I mean. So if I come to this sketch here and I change this, let's say the request is now for the hole to be 30 millimeters, and I change this to 30 millimeters. So once I click close, you see that that hole to changes to 30 millimeters, like the second one, and that is our object. The next thing I will do now is to create the technical drawing. So go to tech drawer, and then I'm going to insert a blank sheet. Then to insert the view, I will first click on the body, then click on insert view. Let's use a scale of 1:2 just to make things manageable on the page. Yeah, so 1:2, beautifully perfect. So yes, now let me click on OK. There are some things that you would notice right out of the box here. Let me disable the frames for a bit. You would notice that there are some lines that are not supposed to be here. Like in technical drawings, this line here and this line here are not supposed to exist because they don't really show anything on the object. What these lines are, they are like soft lines, as FreeCAD calls them. It's like the point where the arc, this arc joins with this other arc. So that's what they are using to represent that line. But it does not, that line does not actually exist in technical drawing. So the first thing that I would like to do is to disable those lines from showing up. So I'm going to click on my project group, and I'm going to go to like the front. I think, okay, let me enable the frames again. So the front and the left, I want to select both, and I'm going to go to there's this under HLR parameter over here under data, HLR parameters. You want to turn off smooth visible. So I'm just going to say false, and I'm going to recompute this object very easily. So those lines are gone exactly as I want them to be gone. So you notice that there is the hidden details here for the circle, which is beautiful. But what I need to add now is the center lines. I need to add the center lines for the circles. So what I do is firstly I click on these two circles and then I add center line. Oh, this is interesting. The center lines are there, right? And normally I would have just changed the types of the line, but I'm noticing something too. Like the center line, I would really love it for it to like extend like all the way to this other circle here. So I'm going to do a Ctrl Z. Instead of using the circle inside to do the center line, I'm going to use the one outside so that the center lines will be naturally bigger. So I'm going to click on this arc here, and I'm going to click on this arc here, and I'm going to click on the create center line too. Exactly. So this is fine. This is very nice, and you could leave it like this for now. I would still come back to it. So next now to do is that I want to show that this part is like there's a circle, something like that. So I want to put a center line in between these two lines. So I'm going to click on this line and then click on this line and come to this tool here to add the center line between two lines, and that gives me a beautiful line here which I can edit. So I'm just going to reduce that thickness to like 0.25, and I think every other thing is fine. In fact, I think that 0.35 is okay. Really, I think that 0.35 is okay, but it looks thicker than this hidden line. What should we do? Let's leave it for now. So I want to do the same thing here. I want to add a center line between these two lines here. So I do the same thing, add center line, and let's try to reduce this. Let's just leave it at 0.25. Let me change this as well to 0.25, just so that that thickness is kind of uniform. Then these lines here, I really want them to look like center lines, something like the way this looks like, you get. So the way we do that is by clicking on them, like double clicking on them one by one. Let me change thickness to 0.25. Then under this it will be long dash, is it dotted? Yes, long dash dotted, I believe. Or is it long dash short dash? I actually think long dash short dash is better. It's more representative of center lines, like I like it. So I'm going to click OK, and then I'm going to click this as well. But the thing is that whatever you use, just try to be consistent with it. Try to be as consistent as you can with it. So that means that I would have to change this as well to like the long dash short dash, so that I will be consistent, because it's not good to be seeing like a particular thing somewhere and then another thing in another place in your drawing. And you know, we are not really following the we are trying to follow something that looks like the standard, right? But it's not like heavily based on the standard, if I may put it like that. So then this as well, let's make it long dash short dash. Okay, and there we have it. So I believe that, okay, let me change this to long dash short dash. Let's click on OK. But I don't think I've changed the thickness of this line. So yes, 0.25. Just try to be consistent with your thicknesses, because even if someone can't tell what is off, they are going to see that, okay, this thickness is kind of off, there's something wrong here. Yeah, even if they don't know anything about it. So that is it. I have my parts, and I'm going to now put in the dimensions. Remember, we want to add enough dimensions to define the part, but not too much that it becomes redundant. And I'm going to change the spacing in between this, just so that it will help with the dimensions. Let's make this 30, and let us make this 30 as well. So I'm going to click on OK, and it shifts automatically. Beautiful. Now go back to dimension 2, and let's start with this. So this is 90 millimeters radius, and then let's go with this. So this is 25 millimeters, right? And this circle here is 30 millimeters diameter, and this is also 30, and then this is 40, I believe. And yes, so I click on this, and then this to give me that beautiful chain dimension. And what else? Okay, the distance between here and here, 115 millimeters. Is there any other thing that is needed? I think that we have fully dimensioned the part, so that is it basically. Now another thing that I want to show you is just a little bit of finishing touch basically. Now you will notice that this R25 is like sitting on this horizontal line, and this is basically parallel to the line. So how can we do that? Well, it's quite simple. You have to double click on the dimension, right? Then scroll down here, and under drawing style, instead of ISO oriented, you will change it to ISO reference, and you click OK. Very simple. So you have to do that for each of them. ISO referencing. Sometimes it's okay for you to just leave it like that, but sometimes you just want to add that some finishing touches to your work so that it looks good, basically, in the sense that what you want it to be. So ISO referencing. Okay, so I think we are good, and I'm going to export this, right? Let us export as PDF so that we can see how our work looks like. Let's call this, should I take this to downloads? Let's call this connecting rod, and let's see how it looks like in PDF. So downloads, connecting rod. Beautiful, isn't it beautiful? Look at the lines, look at the center lines. Very well done, I think. So that is basically it, right? I believe that if you practice better, you would be able to get some things. There is no way you watch a video and that teaches you everything that you need to know. If you don't practice, you won't know it. So my closing words to you would be that so far we have learned a lot of things in FreeCAD, and some of these things that we've learned can make you an expert at some things if you practice them well enough. So I would encourage you to practice a lot. Watch other YouTube channels, look at how they do things, and you would become gradually better. One advantage of using FreeCAD is that you never really have to pay for it. So even, let's say you're a student right now, you would always have access to the files that you create while you're in school. Your subscription does not expire. You don't have to use pirated software or other things like that. So thank you very much for watching this tutorial series. My name is Joshua Olunlade, and it has been an honor and a great privilege to take you through this entire thing. I will most likely see you in the next series, but till then, stay fine. Kindly like this video, subscribe, and I would really love to see your comments under this video. Thank you. Bye for now.